What's going on, MSF Mafia? It's your boy Ken, and today I'm bringing you guys my top 10 best unlocked characters in the game that will help you improve your roster quite drastically, or will definitely help you improve your roster quickly compared to other characters when you end up unlocking them. So this isn't necessarily a top 10 best characters as a whole in the game, but it's just because they do so many things, they work in so many different areas in the game, they help you unlock legendaries, etc., all that sort of good stuff. So but before we get into it, I just want to say thank you guys so much for the support as of late. If you guys haven't by now, make sure that you guys go and subscribe to the channel. Drop a follow in Twitch as well. I do stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday there, so hopefully I get to see you guys there. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. 3, 2, 1. Alright guys, and before I start this list, I want to put out a disclaimer that no legendaries were used for this list in particular, being that some of what entails the value of these characters is that these are characters that you're going to want to unlock on your own. You don't have to build an entire synergy team to unlock the character in particular here. All of them, you can either farm them from the campaign nodes, you can farm them from a store in particular, or some of them may be only available in orbs. But the value is when you do unlock them, these are characters that you're going to want to work on. So I'm going to start with my boy right here on the screen, the God of Thunder himself. He's quite valuable actually, and early on, easily accessible. He is accessible in the raid store, but he's also available in a little bit of a later node in Hero 7. But still a really good character. There's so much that you can do with this guy. He does have synergy with Wave 1 Avengers. He does have synergy with Asgardians. Wave 1 Avengers is probably the earlier team that newer players will have more access to, being that you can get yourself a Captain America, Black Widow, and Hawkeye a lot earlier than you can get a Hela. So you can actually start building him in that direction, and then if anything, down the line, he can become a part of Asgardian. Also, he's going to be very good on his own, value-wise, if you bring him up for arena purposes. As I mentioned a little bit ago, Wave 1 Avengers is one of those teams that's available early on, so you might want to actually start working on him for that particular reason. He's a good plug and play character with them, the same way that he is with Asgardians nowadays. So, and even if you end up bringing him up, he's not going to be an option that you're going to be screaming about, because he's potentially a good character to start taking into Cosmic Nodes Dark Dimension 4. As you guys know, in Dark Dimension 4, we can't use legendaries, so Thor might be another character that we might consider bringing into Dark Dimension 4. He actually wasn't bad in Dark Dimension 2 for me. I did take him in a couple of runs just to test him out. So, you know, synergy with Asgardians, he's always going to be good. He's great in the Greek raids. Overall, he just adds tremendous value, and as I mentioned, he also helps unlock one of the strongest legendaries in the game in Ebony Moss. So Thor is definitely making this list for me. Okay, and from the God of Thunder, we're moving on to the God of Mischief himself, Loki. Loki is actually still to this day one of the strongest characters in this game outside of legendaries, that I definitely don't have any problems recommending for anyone building their roster. He is going to be a character that's going to help you unlock two of the best legendaries in the game. Quite arguably could be the two best legendaries in the game. You get Phoenix and you get Black Bolt. For Phoenix, you do have to take him up to 6 stars. But the fact that you have a character that can that can help you unlock two of the best characters in the game, you don't have to feel bad about bringing this guy up for any reason. He's also amazing in Arena. Now that we have real-time Arena, as well as a game mode being added to the game, and Loki has been a really good character for PvP game modes in the past, I'm going to recommend him to be being brought up for that particular reason. Real-time Arena looks like it's going to be a game mode that's going to take up a lot of time as well, and it's also not a bad option to take into Cosmic Nodes in Dark Dimension as well. So this is why I think Loki also makes the list. Okay, and we go from the God of Mischief, Loki, who pretty much was Emma before Emma came out. Emma is pretty much a Loki on steroids. Her special is great. Diamond form is great. It does a lot for her, and they have very, very low cooldowns on her kit. But the reason why she's so amazing is only a 4 turn cooldown on her ultimate as well. If charged, you clear all positive effects from all enemies. So you remove all the buffs from the field. Apply blind to the primary target. Then mind control the 2 enemies or allies with the most damage to attack the primary target. Controlled characters gain plus 40% damage for this attack. If the primary target is killed, apply blind to the non-summoned enemy with the most speed bars. So if your target dies, then whoever has the most speed bar in the enemy team is also gonna get blind after that. Guys, Emma Frost, as you guys know, it's an amazing character in the game. Unfortunately, she is not farmable right now. The only way that we've been able to unlock any shards for her has been through the milestones, so hopefully we get those back again. But being that she's such a strong character, whenever you do unlock her, she's gonna be one character you're gonna want to bring up no matter what. She's gonna be valuable for you in arena, she's gonna be valuable for you in raids, now in real-time arena as well. A good recommendation for all Dark Dimension runs as well. Emma Frost is definitely one of the strongest characters in the game and one of the strongest kits. I cannot wait to see where she ends up becoming farmable. Okay, and from Emma, we go to another character that's not necessarily the easiest to farm. She is only available in premium orbs. But Minerva, if you have been lucky enough, she has come out in a couple of the login calendars in the past, is a really strong character to build up right away. And the good thing about her is that she has such a strong kit that works even at low stars, so that's why I value her. She's gonna be a character that even at 2 or 3 stars, whenever you unlock her, you can instantly start working on her and she can do magic for you, especially for all your Dark Dimension runs. So far I've taken her into Dark Dimension 2, 3, and then I'm hoping to take her into Dark Dimension 4 soon enough. But I did have her as a good valuable plug and play character for my arena teams at times, especially for arena offense. And on raids, she was queen of the raids early on. As the raids continue to progress and become a little bit more challenging, you might actually not use her as much because she becomes a target, but she's definitely valuable in any aspects of the game. I highly recommend that as soon as you get your Minerva, you start working on her. And now we're gonna talk about the big bad himself, Ultron, who's still to this day a very strong character in the game. He is your reward for being able to complete Dark Dimension 2. So actually some people are bypassing Dark Dimension 1 early on so that they can go ahead and beat Dark Dimension 2 and get this guy into rise through the ranks in arena. Now we have real-time arena, and where Ultron really shines is he doesn't really need a team. He's a very good plug and play character. You pretty much can use him in any aspect of the game. You use him in arena, he's valuable in raids as well, and he's actually a good character to plug and play and almost increase your punch up chances in an attack in war as well. So he has tremendous value on his own. The only knock on him that we know is that he doesn't have red stars, but even to this day I continue to use my Ultron. I actually use my Ultron still sometimes in arena offense as well, and like I said, a good plug and play character. So that's why Ultron ends up making the list. Okay, and from Ultron we're going into Maximum Carnage, actually one of my favorite teams still in this game. I really think that Carnage has a lot of tremendous value in here. The only knock on him is that he's available in a Watch Store, and Watch Store, as you guys know, is very competitive. A lot of good characters that are in that particular store right now with Mr. Sinister, X-23, and then of course Sif, if you want to help, if you want to bring up or unlock your Black Bolt. But Carnage has tremendous value. He is part of probably the strongest faction as a whole to take into your raids. As you guys know, I use my symbiotes in U7.5, and Carnage is one of the main reasons why they perform so well. 7.5. So the Carnage has a lot of value even on his own. He's actually one of the better PvP characters that you can bring into the game. So now with real-time arena, he's going to be another character that I can recommend you guys to just continue to bring up, especially because real-time arena is going to be a game mode that looks like it's going to have a lot of, that's going to be a grind, and you're going to be spending a lot of time in it. But as a whole, he's been very valuable in all aspects of the game. Good in arena, good in raids, and even great in Dark Dimension 3 for me. The city notes, I was able to one-shot the first city note with just him and Symbiote Spider-Man. So one character that as soon as you get, you're gonna have no problems bringing him up whatsoever. He has tremendous value, and Carnage is just one of the best looking symbiotes out there, isn't he? All right, and we're moving on to Hela, who by far, I didn't rank this list in any order, by the way. This is not my top 10 like ranked from 1 to 10. It's just my top 10 characters as a whole that you should definitely bring up at whenever you unlock them. But Hela probably has to be at the top of the list for a lot of reasons. So Hela ends up giving you tremendous value. She's another character that not necessarily easily farmable. Her node is probably doesn't have the best drop rate and is not the easiest one to unlock either. She's available in building 7-6. However, she has tremendous value. She helps you unlock 2 legendary characters very similar to Loki. You get to unlock both Black Bolt and Phoenix with her. So, but even her as a whole just has tremendous value on her. She's an amazing addition to your arena team. I use her quite a bit to help me grow through the ranks. in Arena. Now with Real-Time Arena, she's going to be another viable option that you're going to want to use in Real-Time Arena. Was amazing in raids. And another strong character in actually all the Dark Dimensions. I've taken her to Dark Dimension 2, 3, and 4. And man, no matter what, she ends up putting so much damage wherever you actually take her. So a very, very valuable character. A kit that necessarily hasn't necessarily dropped in value. Yes, it's Guardians as a whole in war defense have lost some value because there's some counters to it, but even to this day, the one thing that can make S Guardians end up winning most of the time is a really strong high red star Ela. So if you don't put them in defense, I'm actually planning to putting her on to start using her in offense. She is gonna be one of the best characters for a long time. Okay, and we're moving on to one of my favorite characters as a whole. Symbiote Spider-Man is by far one of the strongest characters in the game, even if he doesn't have the legendary tag. I think most people will end up ranking this guy in the top 10 of anybody's list. So, but the only knock on him is that he's only available in milestone orbs. If you were lucky enough like me to get him through the previous milestones, then I do have him at 6 red stars, and he packs a punch. He does so much on his own. He has tremendous value. He's a good plug and play character, but like I said, he's a part of the strongest faction probably to take into raids when it comes to the symbiotes. I use them in U7.5. You can also technically make the case that you can use him to unlock Shuri, but as I just mentioned a little bit ago, he is not very farmable, not easy to farm in the milestone orbs. So, and most people, if you already have him at high stars, more than likely you have Shuri in your inventory. But where he can gain you some value is in pretty much any game mode in the game. He's actually pretty strong in Arena, and now in Real-Time Arena as well. He should be a really good addition to anybody's rosters. So if you've worked on him, he's going to be one character that you're going to want to use in Real-Time Arena as well. I mentioned amazing in raids. In Dark Dimension, pretty much City, this is what Symbiote Spider-Man was designed for. City nodes in Dark Dimension 3 were a breeze with him, and then of course he's probably going to be ending up being part of my City nodes for Dark Dimension. Symbiote Spider-Man as a whole, one of the best characters in the game. Whenever you unlock him, even at low stars, just because you do want to start taking him to Dark Dimension runs, continue to build him up, continue to get more stars on him, and yeah, don't stop. The sky's the limit with this. And now we're getting down to the nitty gritty. There's 2 characters that I haven't mentioned, one of them being this guy right here, Mr. Sinister. Man, what an awesome kid. This is by far probably the most timeless kid that you'll see in Marvel Strike Force, because what he does, nobody else in this game does right now. And he's able to clone anybody on the opposite end that you're facing. He has tremendous value pretty much anywhere in the game. He's good in Arena, he's good in raids, he's good in both arenas actually, but I think a little bit more of a better option in Arena offense because you can control who you're cloning. But then on top of that, him and Emma work fantastic in the global nodes as well in Dark Dimension 3, so he's probably gonna end up being another character that I build up for my Dark Dimension 4 run as well. And like I said, just tremendous value. This character's kit is probably going to be one that is just going to be so good for a long time. The high reds end up helping him even more, and he is the knock on him that he is available in the war store, but most of the better characters in the game seem to be only farmable in the war store. X-23 is another good character that's available in the war store as well. So you have to make your choice. You want to go for this timeless character, or if you're unlocking legendaries, you're probably going to want to pick the other characters, but Mr. Sinister is on his own an amazing character, and he's going to be for long. All right, guys, and last but not least, Thanos, the Mad Titan himself. Guys, he is inevitable. This guy is still one of the best characters in the game, and all the value that you get from unlocking this character is through the roof. Even on his own, he has a lot of potential to be one of the better characters in the game. I use him quite a bit in my arena. If you do end up unlocking Ebony Maw, even just those two work really well together. He ends up getting immunity from him, and he's a pretty good character. That combination of Ebony Maw and Thanos is a good combination in PvP, which now we have Real-Time Arena, so that's gonna be something that you guys might want to consider using both those characters. But on his own, he was a good part of my raid team for a long time. As you guys can see, he's gear 14, so I have taken him to Dark Dimension 2, I've taken him to Dark Dimension 3, and he probably will be making my Dark Dimension 4 run as well. So overall, tremendous value anywhere in the game with him, but also the biggest and probably the most important reason why he should be the #1 character that you end up working on is because right now there is no stronger team than the Black Order team too as well. So he is the focal point. In this case, when he becomes empowered, it's a completely different beast as well. And Black Order it's everywhere. It's if you're in the top 10 of your arena chart, you're probably gonna be running into top 10 or top 15 Black Order teams, because they are probably the strongest team that you can go up against. Yes, there's a lot of counters against them, but a really high Black Order team and a really high Thanos is going to be really hard to get past. So they're also great in War. They're pretty much great. The strongest faction in the game. They're great pretty much in every aspect of their game. And like I said, as long as you bring up your Thanos, he's going to be a character that you're not going to have any issues whatsoever down the line, or crying about why you worked on this guy. He is amazing. Okay guys, and that was my top 10 list of the best characters to work on once you unlock them. For those reasons that I mentioned, they really do help you progress in your roster quite fast. But there is a couple of honorable mentions that I want to go over. One of them being Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo has a very unique kit as well. I have actually her passive T-Ford for that particular reason. She ends up applying offense down to enemy. As long as you don't pair her with another protector, she ends up applying offense down to the enemy every single turn. Only knock on Yo-Yo is that, once again, it's another character like Minerva, available in Premium Orbs. However, unlike Minerva, she really needs that focus to land that offense down. So a 2 or 3 star Yo-Yo definitely is not going to give you the same benefit as a Minerva would, with her kit based. It's slightly different than her. So she's going to be one character you're going to want high focus on. You're going to want to make her a strong skirmisher level 5, especially as you continue to grow her kit. But early on, and she's not very easy to access unless you get her through offers, or like I mentioned, the Premium Orbs. That's the only reason why she ended up making honorable mention, not necessarily the top 10. And then next one is Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, the reason behind it is she actually has lost some value in the game. She is easily farmable nowadays, so even for early players, if you're coming into the game right now, she's not a bad option to work and develop your roster. But she doesn't end up giving you long-term too many aspects of the game where she's going to be viable long time. So she's good in arena early on. There's a lot of counters to her, especially if you pair her up with like a Loki early on in arena. I think she's good there. She was also good for me in raids early on. Ultron Angels, if you guys remember that, or even like another version of Tech Wing. So she does have a lot of value early on in the game, but I think better characters down the line really start shadowing her. And then Crystal, I don't think we've seen the full potential of Inhumans yet. I think more Inhumans are on their way, but as it stands right now, I think Crystal is still one of the better characters in the game. She was part of my arena defense for some time, and still to this day, I think a really good character. One of the top 3 Inhumans that you're going to want to use, even if you end up not necessarily using Karnak and Quake with that team. But you definitely want to keep her for the healing. You want to keep her for her amazing kit, and she's an amazing raider. She ends up landing vulnerable on everyone left and right, so she's good in a lot of aspects of the game. Her cooldowns are a little bit longer, which is probably one of the reasons why some people end up like leaving her out. But for short-term fights, like I mentioned, for like arena, even real-time arena, she might be a good viable option for people to pick. Okay, and I'm finishing my honorable mentions with X-23, who's one of my favorite Marvel characters. I have X-23 everywhere in my room, but I absolutely love this character, and I think she probably will end up making my top 10 down the line, especially with real-time arena being added into the game, because she is one of the few characters that it's pretty speedy and ends up applying ability block, which is valuable, as you guys know, in the game. X-23 has a lot of value outside of the X-Force team, but she is a part of that faction, which is really good for war offense. Now she helps you unlock Doc Ock, nowadays one of the better legendaries as well. I think it took some time for people to get used to him, but he is very, very valuable, especially at high gears as well. So X-23 has a lot of self value on her own. She's a good plug and play character, not bad option to start taking early on in your arena attacks, especially early on. Real-time arena she's going to be good in, and then I've also said that she has decent survivability for raids as well. So until you start building some of your stronger raid teams, if you do unlock X-23, she is a good character to take pretty much in every aspect of the game. The only knock on her is that she's available in the war store, and that's a very competitive store. So You know, a lot of people are building or are getting shards for Sifter. Now you have to build, get some shards for X23, so you can unlock Doc Ock, and then you also have Mr. Sinister. So a lot of good characters to choose from there. All right, guys, and that is my top 10 list. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do also stream on Twitch, as I mentioned earlier, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. My chat actually helped me come up with some of this as well. So if you guys enjoyed this list, let me know in the comment section down below if I missed one of those characters that you think should have been a part of this list, or which one was your favorite and the reasons why. But I also want you guys to know I do have a Discord. Make sure you guys go and click on my Discord. It's the best way to know when I go live, and then also keep track of when my YouTube videos drops as well. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. Thank you guys for the support. Peace.